Western man has made himself bereft of the rites and rituals, the rites of passage, the shamanic methods for dealing with the build-up of his dark psychic content. As a result, he is patently psychologically arrested. His avoidance condemns mankind and the earth. It engenders psychotic and sadistic leaders who are able to play upon his fears and lower instincts ad infinitum. So we're getting to the core of it now. If we do not autonomously cleanse our psyches and strive to live morally, and if we continue to violate the natural order, remember I said nature goes through these cycles, it can handle the winter when everything dies and putrefies, because it knows what beautiful roses are going to come from that. Nature can do it, but we can't. And if we continue to violate the natural order because of our inner emotional and psychological toxicity, we will allow the ego to manifest surrogate channels to exorcise its repressions and other negative debris. In short, if we give up the right rulership of the self, we inevitably breed Orwellian political and religious tyrants to take over the job and turn us into what George Simmel, the psychologist, sociologist, said, smiling depressives, or worse. And there's two other proclivities, capacities that we have in our minds. In our ego consciousness, we also have two very important things. And again, both necessary, but we've taken them to extremes. And they're called projection and inflation. And the place where we can really examine them is in our relationships. The dark aspects of the personal psyche, which threaten the ego's autonomy and its vision of itself, are repressed, as we said. The shadow is the sum of all that we loathe about ourselves, and we project it onto other people and say they're responsible. This content is subconsciously projected onto others who become our external representatives of our personal shadow selves. In extreme cases, we also project this content through the field of other oblivious victims. That's an important one, but we're not going to get into it now. I'm working on a DVD and a website called Psychic Vampirism. You can go to psychicvampirism.com, and I've got something that's coming out that's going to be monumental on that, but we certainly can't visit that today. And additionally, there is the collective psyche and its dark content, which is at certain times likewise projected. So you do it with your individual mind, but we all do it collectively at certain phases in history. We literally all project on the famous nemesis that's created for us. And the politicians, they know how to manipulate that. We want the easy way out, and they have the pulse on the psyche, and they know how to help us with that kind of false exorcism. They're experts at it. I've always maintained in my work that if you don't know the motives of your enemy, then don't go into fight. You may know your motives, but if you don't know what makes them tick, we have zero knowledge of them. I've said it in the book and I've said it in many talks. They have incredible knowledge of us. We don't even know what makes them tick. It's time to start finding out. That's like arming up to go and fight, find a tiger to shoot, but you don't have a faintest idea. In your mind, the tiger is a pink animal that flies in the sky. You don't know it's a thing with, inch-long razor-sharp teeth that's going to tear you limb from limb and can smell you coming 10 miles away. What good is it then you fighting the tiger? You're dead and buried and eaten is what's going to happen to you. Which is what has been happening to the brothers and sisters who've been trying to stand up against these leviathans, unfortunately. As I said, when we are not integrated, strong, and healthy psychologically, we invariably turn to external representatives. The parents, the politicians, the teachers, the evangelists, the heroes, the authority figures, the establishment representatives, whoever. And all manner of horrors have arisen because we do this. So yes, our world is full of horror and genocide and mayhem. Let's start discovering why. The approach of Pluto now will arouse fear, paranoia, and the whole cocktail of these darker emotions. That's why we're having this talk. It's because, you see, we're not going to get away with it anymore. Very soon now, it's already actually been happening, but get ready for it. Now, these effects can confuse you. They can confuse and threaten both protagonist and antagonist. See, you may not be a generator or even a creator of dark, toxic energy too much, right? But you certainly will be the receiver of it from those who are. So you're going to have to know about what's coming, because if you don't, and the masks start coming down, and this toxicity starts coming out in people around you that you think you love, or that they've been fooling you into thinking that they love you, let's put it that way, you're going to be very shocked, and as a result, might do something very off or wrong, or you can be destabilized. And I don't want that to happen. I believe that the good people should have good times ahead. Shouldn't be again having to start from scratch again. Well, we can help that happen by having some knowledge about what might be coming down tomorrow, so that you're not completely shattered